What is going
Isn't
on?
that ping pong?
That is ping pong.
Okay.
Ping pong and ding dong.
What was that movie with Christopher Walken?
Balls of Fury.
There it is. Thank
Ah.
you.
For some reason, everything's going funky over here.
Surprise, surprise.
Yeah, I don't know. It's saying
Hey,
I had one
it's-
drop frame and then it disconnected and reconnected. Supposedly it's working. I don't know what's going on now.
What? All I hear is
Nobody's
Chris
really
eating chips.
Are you guys seeing the
Those are
that we're live?
We are live, and those would be cookies he's eating.
Huh,
It's
I wonder
like
if it's just my YouTube.
Full House or Chips Ahoy.
All right. Well,
Ah,
so what do you eat? What is it? Toll House cookies?
Chips Ahoy.
Chips
It's usually
Ahoy.
Ahoy
chewy.
soft batch.
Those are good. Now I know why Chris insists on ever always eating snacks during this, YouTube video,
well,
but
it's
he
either-
does it every week.
Well, it's either Nate or Chris
Well,
that
normally
usually
I
eat.
gotta get used to the fact that my mic's not here, where it doesn't. You guys can't hear it, and it's here.
The greatest thing is though, you'll cover it up and it makes no difference.
It makes no difference.
I'm
I
not even
tried.
sure his mic is on his headphones is actually the one that's being picked up. I wonder if it's set to the computer mic.
That's very possible too.
I've been very distracted by Smitty's shoulder.
Because
Yeah,
it keeps
I'm
blinking in and
I'm
out.
down.
Oh,
So-
cuts out his shoulder,
You,
yeah.
you eat his stool?
Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
Well,
Hi.
it's because the mic is right there, and that explains it. It's blanking out the mic.
Smitty needs something on the other wall over here. It's just blank.
He just needs a pinup girl right there in that corner.
That's where my Ohio State.
No,
flag on my son
behind
is
you a
gonna
little
go.
bit, Smitty, and that corner back there.
Well, I do have this 5-inch plastic piece of material that will stick perfectly on the wall, but I don't think I can put that on YouTube.
Probably not.
You
gotta-
can if you put a smiley face on it.
A what face?
A smiley
Smiley
face. 'cause
face
Then
on
it's
the
a
end of
thing.
it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, used correctly, there definitely should be a smiley face.
What you do is you get one of those little football helmets you get from a vending machine. You put it on. You drill 2 little holes, and you stick little like Mr. Potato Head arms in there, and then it's like a mascot.
Yeah. Smitty's mascot.
I will draw that for the shirt. Got it.
I love that idea. I love that idea beyond belief.
He's like, I kind of want that tattoo now.
Oh my God! Right?
Well, wasn't it? Anybody here seen 16 Candles and the Chinese guy that fell out of the tree? His name was Dong.
I don't think I've seen 16 Candles.
I know the person you're talking about.
That's what would be the name of this new mascot, be Dong.
Dong.
Well, we can't have something like that, you know. I'm just thinking about the Nirvana kid.
Oh,
Oh,
How many different times did he remake that same picture before he was technically offended by it?
Fact that I've seen at least one picture of him later in life, and this is like
yes.
late 90s, early 2000s.
yeah, he redid it when he was
There's-
18.
There's like 6 different pictures.
and then when he
throughout
was
time, him
21,
redoing
he
the-
said he was going to butt naked again.
Yeah, recreating it.
Recreate.
Now he's like,
exactly.
Oh, I should probably go after the band, sue them for something, so they give me more money.
Well, what he is, he's broke probably, and he just needs the money. So he's like, oh, I need money, so I'm going to sue the band for it again.
Yeah, but I don't see how that would actually work because he was like not even barely 2 in this photograph, so all the money would go to his parents, and his parents okayed it. So I don't know how that
Yeah.
works.
I have a question. This is like more not even on topic or brand for us whatsoever. But
Well, that's what we usually do at the start of this.
with the way the world is now, do you think Nirvana would have ever gotten away with posting a picture of a naked baby as their album cover
No,
in
Nope.
21?
not now. That worked because it was the late 80s, early 90s. That's the only reason
You
it
can
worked back
barely
then.
post a picture of the fucking band
Yeah.
as your album cover without somebody getting offended.
True.
Have you seen the cover of 1984 by Van Halen? Van Halen, I mean?
You mean Van Helsing?
Van Halen. Look it up. Tell me if that would be on okay now.
It makes me think of this is Spinal Tap, where they had an album cover and it had a woman.
It's the coolest album art I think ever, but
On 1984 album cover. All right.
Is it the baby?
it's the baby.
Oh, with the wings and the cigarettes.
And the
Yeah,
cigarettes.
it's a hipster baby with wings and a cigarette.
Looks like
Alright.
Smitty.
I love it. It's great.
Let me pull
It's
it
great.
up.
But he's smoking cigarettes. He's an angel smoking, looking this way, and it's like, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think that would not go now.
Yeah, I want to make sure. Oh, why isn't? Oh, it's because it's a different thing. I got to do this. I'll make sure. So we're gonna show it to everybody. Chrome, here it is. Nope.
And hello, YouTube fans who are waiting for us to actually talk about football.
Yeah.
So before we do,
Sports.
we're going to talk about ballet because we're
Well,
all
it's
of us
okay.
love ballet.
Apparently, I'm the only one watching.
No one loves me no more. I sent it off my snap, and no one cares. But
Well, 3/4 of the people you snap are on this call with you.
this is
Yeah.
true.
Actually,
Well, this
all
is just-
of them.
All of the male population he snaps is on the call right now. But there's at least 40 females out there that receive some type of dick pic on Friday night after he sings karaoke.
Oh.
Yes, but those ones probably block him, so they don't even receive him anymore.
Well, I used to do that until that one lady said, "So that's your dick?" Question mark. I
What's that large growth behind you?
was like, "Oh." And then she goes, "Nah, I'm good."
and that's when Smitty realized that instead of sending dick pics, he just needs to send a picture of his balls, and everybody's like, "Holy shit!"
Softball.
You can lob that up for me. Well, I mean, yours are bigger than softballs, so
Yeah. So
What's
that.
going on, Travis?
I finally got the Van Halen 1984 album cover. Yeah, that wouldn't. I don't think that would have survived back in the day.
Or nowadays?
Yeah, nowadays.
Last 20 years it wouldn't have survived, yeah. But
Like,
and
a naked baby drowning in water with its peen hanging out.
trying to get money off of a dollar bill. So probably that's on the hook.
Oh, that's right.
So, but the original one, you actually can see his penis, but in later ones, they have edited that out. The very original, you see his
I
penis.
remember looking through the album covers for that, and they would put the sticker right there on the plastic, so nobody would see it until the end of the plastic.
There we go. YouTube's finally working for me now.
And I'm guessing the guy would still get royalties from the sales of the album.
I would imagine so.
Maybe the album's not selling good enough, so they're in cahoots to try and bump sales up.
Download it on Spotify or something.
Yeah.
About right.
Yeah.
Either that, or the contract was only for a certain amount of money, and that money has now run out.
Right. Well, I'm pretty sure because that Nirvana was not Nirvana when that came out.
No.
So
They were nothing like what they are now. Well, we're in the late 90s, I should say.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the little pictures on the side of the screen here, and it has our show posted on there. I look so much different with a fucking beard.
Yes, you
Yeah,
do.
you do.
Oh my god.
What are you looking at? YouTube?
He's looking at the YouTube, I think, of all the other shows when he's got full beardage going on.
Yeah,
It
the
is
sister
great.
of the traveling Nate, and my beard is legendary.
It's great because whenever we do one, I go watch YouTube the next day usually, and then if I go back to YouTube and open it up, and then an episode of this populates in my, you should watch this thing from like a year ago.
Yeah.
And I see both of you guys, I'm like, oh my god, it looks so different.
Before I started growing all this out.
Subscribers.
Yeah, I don't know how we got that many. All right, so I guess it's time we start talking about football. We killed 10 minutes of just shooting the shit, guys. So, Chris,
Football.
you want to get to the college, boys?
Foosball.
Foosball.
All right, so just be prepared, guys, for college football this season. The COVID protocols are all over the place, right? So the Big Ten has made it to where each team has their own COVID protocol, right?
Oh, jeez.
Certain conferences have allowed, they're letting them, as far as fans in the stands, they can be at 100%, no face coverings, whatever. Some are like you have to show us your vaccination card to get in. So it's going to be, for lack of a better term, a shit show.
Well, I heard this. I'm not sure how true it is. That LSU has said that to attend their games, you have to be fully vaccinated and have a vax card to attend the games. And like 3 days later, Georgia Bulldogs said, "No one has to show anything. It's free and open to everyone. Everyone just pile up in here and watch us play football."
And that's how some of the games are. That's what I'm saying. So like, and then as far as like the protocols for the players, right? Like the Big Ten is leaving it up to each team to make their own COVID protocol, right? So like Ohio State's COVID protocol is if they're like, I think they said there's like 11 players that aren't fully vaccinated. But if you're fully vaccinated, right, you don't have to do routine testing or anything like that. Your only time you're testing is if you show symptoms or you're exposed to somebody. And if you're exposed to somebody and you're vaccinated, you don't have to quarantine, but you do have to test within, I think, 3 days of exposure, right? If you're vaccinated. And then, obviously if they test positive, then they would go into quarantine and all that stuff. But so it's just going to be, I'm sure if you watch a football game over the next couple weeks, that's going to be the brunt of the first 15 minutes of the game is them talking about all the different COVID protocols.
Oh, goody.
I have one question.
Only
It's
one.
for Nate. What was so funny?
So the way everything is on the screen here, I feel like we're in the Brady Bunch.
That's how they all became the Brady.
Well, the funny
Am
part
I
is
my jam?
when we go to Nate, I can see the reflection of YouTube in his "I am a jerk" shirt.
Well, it's
so
also
it's like picture in picture.
Yeah.
we're all facing separate directions. So like Jeremy has like the Alfred Hitchcock. Smitty is just like broad chested, like, come at me, bro. Chris is like this, just kind of hanging out. Travis is going like that, like he's doing right now. And then I'm over here just like,
So it's a cluster, as the show should be.
yeah. It's interesting how I'm here and I'm just smiling, just Anyway, that's all.
All right,
Let's
It's a
carry on.
story.
College
Never beat
COVID.
that dude.
College COVID. All right, so the next thing I got, the big alliance, right? So after all the crap that I've talked about, for the last couple of weeks about how Oklahoma and those guys are moving to the SEC and all this, so all of a sudden now the Pac-12, the ACC, and the Big Ten have an alliance, right? So basically they're all kind of on the same page where, they're going to communicate with each other as far as big like movements, expanding conferences and stuff like that. It's kind of be more of a joint effort between those three conferences.
So what you're saying is
So-
that we may get an actual playoff series soon.
Possibly. But what this does mean for sure is that you're going to see a lot better out of conference games because they've all agreed that, the Pac-12 will play, the ACC, or the Pac-12 will play Big Ten, ACC, Big Ten, right? So you're going to see better out of conference games moving forward. Probably going to take a few years because some of these, smaller schools have a contract with Ohio State or, one of these other schools.
Yeah, so
But
that way they can
we'll
get that
see
money.
some. Yeah, so moving forward, I think in the next few years you'll see some better out of conference games for those conferences.
Well, that'd be good.
Now, is there like a major skill advantage or disadvantage between the separate conferences? Or is it just do you feel like there's actually going to be some really entertaining and equally matched teams crossing over?
I think you'll see more, that's the thing, you'll see a Miami play Wisconsin in the regular season, right? You'll see, a USC play Nebraska, right? Games that you normally wouldn't see unless they play in the Rose Bowl or a playoff game, right? So you'll see some decent matchups. I'm not saying everything's going to be good because, Oklahoma or, Oregon State versus, a Penn State that could potentially be a blowout, right?
Yeah.
Or, a Pittsburgh because they're in the ACC versus Ohio State.
Or UTEP.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying? So not every game's going to be great, but you have the potential for some pretty good matchups.
As long as Coastal Carolina and the Raging Cajuns, no. mix it up. That's all that matters to me.
So, moving into college football actually starts this week.
Yes, it does.
Thank
So
God.
Saturday, the first game to open the college football season is Saturday the 28th at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and that's Nebraska going against Illinois. Could be a pretty decent game.
Is that going to be on
That's on-
ESPN?
That's Saturday at 1?
Yes.
Okay. What was I? I
So
was
that'd be noon your time.
Go
Yeah.
Huskies.
No, I was thinking the game started at that time, but apparently I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Illinois. And I was thinking Indiana. Okay, you're okay.
Yeah. So that's the game that's going to start them off. There's a few games that day. That's really the only game that I think would actually be pretty good. Hawaii UCLA might be okay. That's at 3:30. And to answer your question, Travis, that game, the Nebraska Illinois game, is on Fox.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah. So, and then moving into the following week, Thursday night on the 2nd, the Buckeyes take on the Minnesota, whatever the hell they are. I don't even remember. Gophers. Thank you. My brain stopped working for a second. Yeah, they take them on 8 o'clock. I'm not sure what. Let me see who they.
Isn't football kicking off like NFL on the 2nd?
No, the week after.
Yeah. So and then you have Minnesota or Ohio State at Minnesota on Fox at 8 o'clock that night. And then that Saturday, Nate's Raging Cajuns take on Texas, which I've been talking about for a couple weeks. Let's see if they can get that upset.
Oh, Raging Cajun gonna beat Texas.
Here's hoping.
One of
You
the
putting
big,
money on that one?
No, not if I no.
and then that Saturday on the 4th, another really good game that's should be fairly good is Wisconsin, Penn State to open the season.
The Badgers.
Yeah, so that should be a pretty good game. One of the games that I'm really looking forward to though is Miami and Alabama. I would love to see your Hurricanes bring a storm in.
The
And-
beginning of the year, Miami pulls Alabama. What?
But the problem is, Mr. Neutral fucking site himself, right? Nick Saban, they're playing in the Superdome in Atlanta.
Oh,
Or I'm
of
sorry,
course they are.
Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta. I read the wrong thing.
Yeah,
Sorry.
you did. The Superdome, they're gonna move it to Atlanta.
Yeah.
I read the wrong thing. But yeah.
Oh no, New Orleans
Mercedes,
renamed their stadium from Mercedes to something else. Atlanta is still Mercedes.
yeah, Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta. So they're playing.
So Alabama is gonna travel a whole 3.5 hours, and Miami is gonna travel 15.
Yeah, that's how it usually works.
Why did
Like,
they
oh.
say neutral? They wanted a neutral site for this game, though.
Nick Saban always opens the year at a neutral site every year.
Ah,
If they wanted a neutral site, they should have went and played on the border of Florida and Alabama in a place called Florella. There are 14 people in this town. Okay,
That
I
is
don't think they have a
neutral
football
place.
field, but they can play out in the soccer field they have.
I think they need to do a USO tour type of thing and go down to Gitmo and do the game there. That is a plenty neutral site.
Yes. And they would probably all die of heat stroke.
Yes. 'Cause
The other
Chris
big
is-
game, I don't have it listed on the drive, but the other big game as I'm looking at this that I somehow missed, number 3 Clemson. And they're playing at Bank of America Stadium in Charlotte. All right. Number 3 Clemson, number 5 Georgia. I'm hoping Georgia can get that upset.
That's what we need. We need Miami to win and Georgia to win, and then not Georgia, but Miami and Georgia to win, and then screw the whole thing up.
Yeah.
So,
And that's pretty much for your Saturday games. Those are your big games. Sunday, so they do have a game Sunday, September 5th. That's Notre Dame at Florida State. And then Monday, September 6th is Louisville versus Ole Miss.
that's gonna be a good game. Well, I think Ole Miss is gonna take care of Louisville. Though.
Yeah, I think Notre Dame should handle.
Yeah, Florida State's not a good team.
Yeah, and keep in mind we got to, I'd like if we're gonna do any kind of bet for the season, I'd like to make that bet by like the start of week 3.
Oh, you're talking about a long-term bet.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like something for the end of the season, but I'd like to make that bet before we start and get halfway through the season, and we're like, oh, let's make a bet that Chris is definitely gonna lose.
Okay, so I'm going to make a bet with you right now. I just don't know what we're going to bet. Got to bet something. I'm not bet tattoos.
A night
So,
with Chris's wife.
Chris gets to sleep with one of your gals. You get to sleep with his.
No. Nice
no.
try, Nate.
So, I think they have to agree to it too. That's the thing. And all of mine would. So, because they're whores.
Chris's wife is the problem.
Yeah, she might.
I don't. I mean, money's money. I like money. You like money, but it should be something more.
I got it.
Substantial.
I have it.
You have
What
it.
is
What is it?
So I do. Well, the loser has to wear a thong on the air.
There we go.
Stand up at least once.
Stand up and walk around with it.
Yep. Turn around.
Thong?
A thong.
Yes, I'll take that bet. How about you,
A
Chris?
banana
You take
hammock.
that bet?
I'll take it.
Yeah, okay, now you just got to tell me if you're willing to take this part of the bet, the actual
Okay.
bet. You ready for it?
Let's get the bet.
I'm gonna lose. It's a standard bet. My Hurricanes have a better record than the Ohio State at the end of the year.
I'll take it. I'll take it.
I think Smitty just wants to wear a thong.
Yeah,
I will
that's
win all the
what-
time anyway.
I
So
was like, that's the gist I got.
It's prank. It's
so,
pink and it's
so me and
frilly.
Smitty
so.
have that small bet, and I'll take that bet.
Literally.
But if there's something else that you guys want to do, if any of the rest of you guys want to do something, let me know. But that's all I got, Travis, for college this week. Until games start, it's kind of quiet right now.
Well, good thing we only got till next week for the games to start.
Right.
Well,
Now,
28th. Actually,
if
2
Miami
days.
and they in Ohio end up with the same record, we both have to wear a thong.
I'm down.
And pasties.
And then we'll stand up on 3. Well, I mean, so here's my question with this thong thing. All right. My only concern, do we need to get like safety straps for Smitty's balls? I feel like a thong is not enough support.
Well, we can give him.
I'm
He can wear
not
suspenders
saying
to hold him
face
up.
forward. I'm just gonna show you guys my ass.
We'll have to.
Well, they're still gonna drop.
Yeah, but if you guys got like the Brazilian cut, it adds extra padding and all that in the front.
If anything, we can just make we can just get like an A-cup bra for him to strap around his hips and hold his balls. So we're good.
What I'm more impressed is that Nate knows exactly which one will give you more support.
Why don't we just do a jock strap? That's basically the same thing.
The old school jock strap, because the new
Yes.
ones are kind of like
Yeah, shorts.
boxer briefs.
Yeah,
But
Yeah, they realized how uncomfortable the old ones were.
yeah.
You have a choice. If you have a jock strap, you can do a jock strap. If you can't get a jock strap, it's easy.
An old school. When I
Yeah,
played
an old school one. If not, it's got to be pink and frilly.
Yeah.
Oh, I gotta start doing testicle exercises now. Thanks.
I might have to shave my ass for this.
Jeremy, you keep moving this thing around. What is this thing you want to talk about?
No, Nate needs to read it.
Oh, because it's his day?
Yes.
National Dog Day is upon us and has provided countless displays of appreciation for our pups. The pandemic has given everyone ample time to forge deeper bonds with their pets, and athletes have been no exception.
Is that it?
That's it.
Who are the athletes?
Yeah.
Oh, we'd spend like all weeks listing them off.
Who were the notable ones, though, Jeremy?
Who
I
had
don't know.
the dog?
Go to nationaldogday.com or something, and it's just a hodgepodge of everything.
What is a hodgepodge?
Yeah, what is a hodgepodge? Explain that to us, Jeremy. Mr.
I think Mitty knows.
Yeah, I do.
What's a hodgepodge?
It's a mixture of everything,
Like,
like anything. A hodgepodge of colors, a hodgepodge of people, of all shapes, sizes, colors, whatever it happens to be. So a hodgepodge of dogs, be a whole bunch of different kinds.
see, I thought it was like a soup.
It actually probably did come from that, like your hodgepodge.
well,
of,
technically,
like,
that kind of soup is a gumbo.
I would
Because
feel like
gumbo
this kind
was
of
just everything that they
conversation-
had left over.
I was say what I think this conversation we take a saying of some sort, say it, we figure out what it is. Yep, Jesus. And we do it on Mondays.
I can hear what you said because
Chris is
the
loud
noise
over
coming
there.
from Christopher's
Chris, what are
microphone
you doing?
so loud.
Yeah, what were you doing, Chris? Because that was like obnoxiously loud. Is that
Grabbing
a Slim
food
Jim?
because I'm a fat ass.
It's weird because whenever some noise happens on one microphone, it drowns out everything else and everyone else's voice, no matter where it comes from.
See, I can hear you guys the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Is that
because you're
a
the
s-
one who's making the noise.
Yeah. Is that a Slim Jim?
I can barely hear Travis though. It's like you're cutting it out, man.
There, when we're done with the podcast, you guys can go check the link and just start going through it.
All right. All right.
All right.
So you want
So
to
I
get to NFL?
I think it's what?
Oh no, it's time for the Thin's think tank because he says he has something tonight.
I do. I have something for you all tonight.
Say it ain't so.
Since we are a football show, and I figured this would be something that everybody on the program should be able to get.
Yeah.
It is the top 20 quarterback rushing yards in 2020.
Okay.
You have the top 20 of people that have ran X number of yards, 20-1. Anybody that gets one correct within the top 20 gets a point, and we'll go around
Quarterbacks?
Quarterbacks.
5 times, 4 times.
4 times.
We'll go around 4
And
times.
that gives us 5 extra.
So, Travis, since you are the thick to the thin, you go first.
I'm gonna go with Lamar Jackson. He's probably number 1.
You are correct. Lamar Jackson is number 1. He had 1,005 yards.
Oh yeah, because he's a glorified
Well,
running back.
for this last year or the year before?
This past
2020.
year.
Oh,
So this past season, the COVID season.
the COVID season.
Jeremy, you are number 2. So,
I'm gonna go with Josh Allen.
Josh Allen,
Good pick. He had a lot.
number 8, 421 yards. Chris?
I'm thinking.
Did your guy get hurt?
Deshaun Watson.
Good choice. Deshaun Watson is number 6 with 444 yards.
We said Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, and who?
Deshaun Watson.
Patrick Mahomes.
Good choice.
Patrick Mahomes, number 10, 308 yards.
All right, I
Travis.
am gonna go with Drew Brees.
Drew Brees.
I'd always put money Taysom Hill had more rushing yards as a quarterback than Drew Brees did last year. What'd you say, Nate?
He is not in the top 20.
All right.
What's Arizona's quarterback name?
Kyle Murray.
Yeah, Kyle Murray.
Kyle Murray
Jeremy.
is number 2, 819 yards.
I'll go with Russell Wilson.
Good choice.
Great choice. Russell Wilson, Seattle Seahawks quarterback, had 513 yards, putting him at number 4.
Wow.
Smitty.
Aaron Rodgers.
He
Aaron
ran for his
Rodgers
life a
is
lot.
not on this list. He is at number 24.
Is anyone keeping track?
Yes, I
Yeah.
am.
Doesn't matter,
I'm
Jeremy.
at
You
one.
won already. Okay,
Jeremy,
shut the
Chris.
fuck up.
Travis 1, Jeremy 2, Chris 2, Smitty 1, and we are now in the 3rd rotation.
Yeah, we're back to me. We got Buffaloes. Cam Newton. He did a lot of running.
I was wondering when somebody was going to say Cam Newton. Cam,
That's what I was gonna go with next.
Run
Yeah.
to no more.
number 3
Yes.
with 592 yards.
Okay, let's go with Carson Wentz.
Good guess. Carson Wentz is number 12.
Ooh.
Is number
I was like, is he not on the list? Did Jarny guess wrong for once?
He's
I was
number,
going to
Chris,
say,
take this?
I know he was hurt, but I didn't think he was hurt that much.
he's number 12 with 276 yards. Chris, you need this.
Yes, you
I'm
do.
I'm going out on a limb here, but I'm gonna go with Mitch Trubisky.
I am glad you did. He is actually. Did I say top 15 is what we're going, or top
20.
all top 20?
Top 20.
You said
Okay.
top
You said
20.
top 20.
Trubisky is number 16 with 196 yards.
Wow. There you go. All right, Smitty.
You need this to stay competitive.
Yeah.
I got the name that no one's thinking of. The mustache in Jacksonville.
Gardner Minshew.
Minshew.
Gardner Minshew.
Yeah, that's the Minshew.
Gardner Minshew is number 20 with 153 yards.
Just on the board.
Let's go with Smitty's favorite. Oh, never mind. Not my turn.
I am going with Smitty's favorite draft pick that didn't get picked for his team.
Which one is that?
Oh God, he's over at the Rams, if I remember correctly. No, no, he's at the other one.
I know who you're thinking of, but you're completely in the wrong direction here.
Oh, I'll go with Miami's quarterback. The one he doesn't like, because he
Tua?
didn't run a lot. Yeah, Tua.
Tua Tagovailoa is not on this list.
Damn it.
All right, Jeremy.
I'm gonna go with Justin Herbert.
Justin Herbert is number 14. He plays for the Los Angeles Chargers.
Chargers.
Yes,
that was
the
the
one
other,
that Smitty wanted,
the other
but didn't
swoosh.
get.
Yes, the other swoosh looking one.
This is
Well,
probably
Arch. It's the other Arch one.
He had 234 yards.
going to make me lose, but I'm going to go with Ryan Tannehill.
Ryan, the Money Tannehill. I don't
He
even
has
know if
that.
that's his nickname, but it should be. He is number
He's in there.
13 with 266.
You should have called Ryan the real deal Tannenhill.
I like it.
All right,
I like
Smitty.
the real deal. Smitty, this is just to get ahead of Travis.
Yeah.
We got Roethlisberger, but he didn't do a damn thing. Derek Carr, Matt Ryan, Rivers. You know what? I'm going to go with Miami's actual quarterback that runs all the time. The fear of the beard, Fitzpatrick.
It's Fitzmagic, first of all.
Yeah.
Get his name right.
Sorry.
I am sorry, but Ryan Fitzpatrick is not on
We
this
tied
list.
again, Smitty. We tied last week. We tied this week.
All
This
right,
is why I
Chris
like having you
and
here, Smitty,
Jeremy.
because I actually get to tie with somebody.
All
All right, now it's between Jeremy and
Fair
Chris.
So this is how we're going to do it. Since Jeremy was going before Chris will go first. The first one to get it wrong loses.
Yep.
Well, you might not even have to guess.
Yeah. Well, this is
All right,
how
Chris.
you won last week, Chris. Remember?
Baker Mayfield.
Ooh.
Baker Mayfield is number 17 with
Oh.
165 yards.
Nice.
Jeremy.
Jerry's like, I don't know now.
Well, no, because I want to go with the Saints' backup quarterback, but I don't know if he played enough games to get that many yards. Oh, the Bills quarterback. He ran 90-something yards on one run.
You already guessed that.
Yeah, he was
No,
a guest.
no. I mean, the Giants quarterback.
Mm. Daniel
Daniel
Jones?
Jones.
Daniel Jones, number 7, 423 yards.
I remember the fumble or the
Where he fell.
the trip where no one was near him.
All right, Chris, you need another one.
How many? Wait. How many are left on the list that we haven't guessed out top 20?
There's gonna be 3 more.
There's about 6. Because I think I missed 2 on here. I think.
No, we went 4 times around. There's 4 of. Oh yeah, that's right.
Okay.
When he gets this wrong, can I guess another one just for the hell of it?
I'm probably going to get this wrong, but I'm going to go with Jalen Hurts.
That's who I was going to guess.
Jalen Hurts, number 9, 357 yards.
I didn't know if he played enough. I just know he's a running quarterback.
How about Taysom Hill?
Taysom Hill, number 5, 457 yards.
See, I wanted to guess him. I just wasn't sure how many games he started as quarterback or if those when he subbed in, those plays counted. So
Yeah.
Quarterback.
true.
All right.
So there's what,
Chris.
one left?
Yeah, I think 1 or 2
Maybe
left.
2.
No,
Three left,
there's a
maybe.
couple that are still on here that I know nobody's guessed. There's only one that I can't remember if somebody guessed it or not. Maybe 2.
Fuck it. I'm gonna go with the Red Rocket, Andy Dalton.
And that would be your undoing. That would be incorrect.
Yeah, I can't think of any other quarterbacks off the top of my fucking
I
head.
bet Teddy Bridgewater's on that motherfucking list.
I bet
Yeah, I
you,
was gonna say.
you are. So going from the top 20, Gardner Minshew, 153. Kirk Cousins, 156.
I should have said Cousins. I was thinking him too, but I was like, nah, that dude sucks.
He doesn't run.
Drew Lock,
Oh
100.
my God.
Oh, shit.
Jeez.
Baker Mayfield, 165. Mitch Trubisky, 196. 15, Sam Darnold, 217 yards.
Sam
That's what I was going
Darnold.
with next.
Jeez.
14, Justin Herbert. 13, Ryan Tannehill. 12, Carson Wentz. 11, Teddy Bridgewater, 279 yards. Patrick Mahomes, Jalen Hurts, Josh Allen, Daniel Jones, Deshaun Watson, 444 at 6. Taysom Hill, Russell Wilson, Cam Newton, Kyler Murray, and Lamar Jackson at number 1.
How many did Lamar Jackson have?
1,005.
Yeah, I guessed him. I'm like, he is number 1 overall. And Nate is like, you are correct. He is a glorified running back that throws the ball once in a great while.
Yeah, but if you look at the amount of attempts per yards, Taysom Hill probably averages more yards per rush than
Oh,
Lamar
yeah.
Jackson does.
I honestly was starting to draw blanks of quarterback names. I thought Kirk Cousins, but I was like, no, there's no way.
You're like,
Yeah,
he's got to be
my next
retired
was
by
Sam
now.
Darnold, and then I was gonna have to really start thinking.
I started thinking my first guess in my head was Prescott, but I was like, oh, he didn't play last year.
Yeah,
I went there too.
I did too. That's why I like Prescott. Then I'm like, no, he only played one game. Then I'm like, oh, Andy Dalton was back up. No, he only played a few games. I don't remember who the third string quarterback was, but he was garbage. So that's out of the question.
I know some nobody.
I started going through team by team.
I
Huh?
was surprised.
No, it's Jimmy Garoppolo. I know.
Well, no,
He
because
said
he
He
was
was like 2
hurt.
games into it.
I'd say nobody said Bledsoe, fucking Brady either.
Yeah.
I
no,
assumed
because-
Travis was gonna go Brady after he went Breeze.
Well, I fear Breeze, but Breeze was known to take off more often than not.
Not over the past
Like
5
that
years.
Roethlisberger.
Well,
Didn't I
Roethlisberger
tell you?
doesn't run anymore at all.
Wait,
He
the
gained
worst part,
30
didn't
pounds and he sits on his
Didn't I
butt.
say I bet Travis that Taysom Hill, who played less than a quarter of the
Yeah.
snaps, has more rushing yards than Drew Brees?
You
and
did.
no one said him after that. Till I finally said him.
Well, it's because you were like, I don't know if I should say, because you didn't say him right afterwards. So I'm like, well, maybe he wouldn't be on the list. Did he not play enough?
Well, you know what?
I-
The thing is, this list is all the quarterbacks that played in 2020, so that means Joe Flacco is somewhere on that list.
Well, you think about it. Say, like Josh Allen or no, Daniel Jones, right? He's got 423, but he had that one play that was 90 yards.
Yeah.
Number 20 is 153. So it's really not that hard to make the top 20 in this list.
Yeah,
Right.
well, as soon as you said
The difference-
one you
but the
said was
difference between-
160 something, I'm like, oh, Daniel Jones has to be on this list.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard 500. I'm like, okay, I know what ballpark I got to play in. And, but the difference between number 1 and number 20 is so incredibly big.
850 yards,
Yeah. No, because,
or is
Yeah,
it 849 to be exact?
yeah. And I was
Yards.
just like, wow, that is a huge difference.
I like that one. I want more just like that.
Yeah.
So next week you should say the running backs that have the most passing yards. Wink, wink.
Well, the list that I really wanted to do was who makes more money, like Tom Brady, Giselle Bundchen.
Oh, Giselle, hands down.
I was going to try to go player and spouse. Players and spouse.
But there
But
weren't enough
that-
of them.
Well, there's not enough spouses that have to share how much they make
Right.
yearly.
Yeah, they're very.
Common knowledge.
And a lot of
Yeah.
spouses don't work, and if their husband is in the NFL, they're like, well,
Yeah.
I don't need to work.
Well, what delayed my thing was I went to Patrick Mahomes second,
Yeah.
and his girl
Yes.
isn't anything. So,
Yeah. No, she's an Instagram
She's
model.
a stay-at-home mom.
You know how
She's
she
an
makes
it-
her money?
She-
Gawk 3000.
She's got.
No. She has a kid with him. She's set for life now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, sure.
She was.
She
She
doesn't have
was
to do
an
anything anymore.
You don't really hear
Instagram
about
model.
Famous quarterbacks getting divorced though.
What do you mean?
A lot of them
The
actually.
old Bears quarterbacks got divorced.
yeah, Smoking Joe.
Yes.
Cutler.
Jay Cutler.
Yeah,
Jay
Jay
Cutler.
Cutler.
Yeah, he had a messy divorce.
It
kinda.
happens when you're a Bears quarterback, apparently.
Well, he started off as a Broncos quarterback. He ended up as a Dolphins quarterback at one point in time, didn't he?
This is
He
true.
did. He came down to the Dolphins.
Yeah, we traded him down there.
He came out of retirement because he was going to go sports announce.
And he wasn't good either of it.
He didn't give a damn. He's like, I'm here to throw a ball down the field. I don't care.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
All
so
right,
you wanna get
Travis,
to the
this is
actual
all you
NFL?
for a while.
Yeah. Well, until we get to all these trades, and you can talk about anything. We can talk about any surprises. So Mac Jones finally got his chance this week to play with the number ones in the Pats because Cam was forced to sit after flying to a doctor's appointment and not fully understanding the new COVID rules. With this mistake, Matt took full advantage of it, showing a solid performance in the joint practice with the Giants. He completed 21 of 23 with 18 straight before a missed completion with a tip ball at the line.
They're scrimmaging the Giants.
They're playing
Yes.
the Giants.
They're joint practicing.
Yeah, tonight
Yeah.
there's no game, which it confused me when I'm looking for the game. I'm like, all right, so what channel is the game on and everything like that? And I'm like, hold on, the Pats aren't playing tonight because I was looking earlier today. I'm like, well, when are the Pats playing?
Pats are playing Sunday at 6.
Yeah, so I actually might get to see the game fully, but it's all gonna be backups because this is the equivalent of week 4, so they're gonna sit while it starts.
Well, that's not true. Because the fact that they have 2 weeks between this week and the first started games, there might be some teams that actually play their starters for a half, get that game.
Yeah,
pace in
but
there.
it's still the possibility of getting hurt because the first game isn't until the 9th. And then that is a Thursday night game that opens up with Tampa Bay and the
Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah.
Dallas
Cowboys.
Yes, which is going to be if the Dallas Cowboys come back like they were last year, it's going to be a blowout. So by halftime, we're all going to
Right,
be able to
Tampa
go
is
to
going to
bed.
get really hurt really bad in that game.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a blowout.
If that happens. But because Taysom Hill, Mac Jones had the chance to actually show that he can be a NFL quarterback. Does this make the choice to stick with Cam even more difficult for the
No.
Patriots?
Nope.
I think even no matter how good or bad Mac Jones is or where his progression is, I think it's wise to still start Cam Newton because Cam definitely knows how to take a loss.
Yeah,
He knows
good
how to
at
take
that.
a win, and he is, serviceable. He's fairly durable. You don't have to worry about injuring the face of your franchise right away. Let him kind of get accustomed to the way of the NFL. Bring him up, keep him at backup. Maybe if somehow the Patriots are up 30 or 90 points or whatever, go ahead and put the freaking kid in and let him knock off some rust.
And it wasn't like Cam Newton was playing crappy in that first preseason game. I mean, he played very well. He was doing very well.
Well,
So,
the first preseason game, he played all two series, and he looked like crap. Last week, in game 2,
last week.
last week he played for most of the first quarter. I think I watched, and
The entire first quarter he played, I think.
the entire first quarter, and he looked much better than last year. I was kind of surprised. I'm like, wow, something happened because he remembered how to throw a goddamn ball. He only threw it into the
Easy.
ground twice. So
Easy. It's because his shoulder is messed up, and the more he throws, the more it shows. So the fact is he hasn't thrown too much yet this year, so his arm's still fine. Come week 6, week 8, his shoulder's going to be garbage again.
yeah,
What week is that?
I think he's
Well-
comeback player of the year when they win the Super Bowl. I'm saying.
well,
I agree. I think Cam Newton's going to have one hell of a season. I think
I'm thinking he's benched by week 6 or 8.
I think he's going to do way better than last season.
Mhm.
And, I mean, granted,
Could he do worse?
Of course,
I,
it's worse.
I don't know if he could do worse.
He
Oh,
can
you
go.
can't blame that whole season on that quarterback, dude. Come on now.
He can go Jameis Winston worse.
Well, at least that he's actually completing passes to one team or the other, not to the ground.
Yes.
I think you Pats fans are going to be pretty okay with Cam Newton by the end of the season.
Oh,
Yeah.
So
What,
my,
sitting on
my
our bench?
opinion, yeah, I fear Cam will be benched after the Brady game. Tampa Bay is game 4.
I'm saying by week 6 or 8, he'll probably happen sometime in that
Yeah.
range. I
Well,
was
let's
going to
just
say
say this.
bye
Let's
week, but
just-
the bye week is like week 14 or something.
Let's just argue this point because it's fun to argue this point with you Tampa Bay. You Tampa Bay Patriot fans over here. Okay.
I'm not a Tampa Bay fan. I enjoy watching Tom Brady,
But
I'm a Patriots fan.
and this is
first.
against what I want because my Dolphins played the Patriots the first game of the year.
Yes,
say the
and
Patriots-
I picked your Dolphins to win that game because as far as I know, Cam Newton's going to win. They're going to play.
But here's the thing. What if the Patriots are undefeated after the Tampa Bay game? Just saying, let's just say it's possible.
Hey, I
You
picked
still
Miami
think
to
that-
win first week 1 as well.
My point is, do you think that they still stay with Cam Newton if they are 5-0?
Yeah, okay, if they are 5-0, I am buying a bunker because it's the end of the world. If they had
You should
beaten
have done
Tom
that months ago.
Brady,
Haven't you got the memo yet?
yeah, if they had beaten Tom Brady and all of the guys that stayed from last year, I am buying a bunker because it's the end of the world, and I think they will stick with Cam because the world's ending. They can't get any better than that. They've beaten Tom Brady.
I think Cam gets hurt. I think Cam's going to do okay, but he's going to get hurt a 2 to 3 week, whether a COVID-related something or an injury. And Mac's going to go in, and the same thing's going to happen like what happened with Bledsoe. The young kid comes in, plays well, and now their whole team's rallied around him, and they're not going to transition back. Especially with Cam on a 1-year contract. He's done after this year here, so.
The Patriots are going through the exact same thing that Chicago's going through.
Yeah, pretty
Yeah.
much.
Well,
But Chicago didn't have Andy Dalton last year, where New England had Cam last year and saw how it went.
yes.
Well, you just had to watch them on the Cowboys last year.
Well,
You know.
when
Well,
Brady
like, clearly
came in,
the Patriots didn't care either way because Stidham and all these other quarterbacks they picked up aren't really even in question either. So,
Stidham's hurt again.
well, I'm just saying, Cam played all last season, regardless if everybody wanted Stidham or what Hoyer was there too, and
well,
like-
we
Hoyer
saw
played
Hoyer.
one game.
He
Well, I'm
he
just saying
started
that
one
they-
game and that was
the-
awful.
no matter what, they felt like Cam was there. Like, who cares? We still like him more than them. Here they have the young kid Mac Jones, and I think that they might be playing a little bit more conservative. They might like him, but they, like you said, Cam Newton's on a 1-year deal. He's tossable. Like, if they're not doing great, maybe still suck for another season. Don't hurt your face of the franchise. Maybe draft some better picks at the end. Next
Right.
year,
Wait, you could draft
Now-
picks?
rebuilt your team in.
You could
Well,
draft
I
picks?
think I
hey,
think
man.
what
Get your draft picks.
so I think what the difference between last year and this year is that Cam Newton came in and Stidham was like awestruck because Cam Newton was a known MVP and stuff like that. Where this year Mac came in and said, "I don't care who the fuck you are. Sorry about my swearing. I'm gonna compete because I want
Language.
to play. Yes, language. Thank you. Because I want to play. I don't want to sit on this bench." And so he's come out guns blazing, showing everything he's got. That and so far, this is only the start of him. The ceiling may be much higher. If this is his ceiling, then this is not going to be great. But if usually as a rookie, if this is your this is where you come out showing, your ceiling is going to be much higher after the fact.
Yeah, but how much can you know from preseason for real?
Right.
Absolutely
secondly-
nothing.
But
Exactly.
that's
and
why-
secondly, I think unless the Patriots actually are trying to vie for a playoff spot, a Super Bowl win this year, they have no real good reason to start Mac Jones. Maybe
No, they do
game
just to
11,
make
game
sure
12,
You,
give some
have-
time.
you got to get him in earlier, just like Miami did last year with Tua, just to see what you have. If the person you drafted early in the first round is going to be a franchise quarterback.
Well,
with-
according to what we saw from Tua, he wasn't, but he's still there.
Well, that's because
I don't
but
think-
yeah,
I think they're fine. It's old traditional way of how the NFL was. just because you got drafted in the first round as a quarterback doesn't mean you're starting. And it's crazy that now that's expected of these young gentlemen. But really, why not? You have Cam Newton. He's capable of winning games. He's capable of winning games. I'll say he's capable of winning games.
Okay, well, I'll agree with that.
Patriots have brought some other resources in to help the offense and make them moderately competitive. But I don't think there's a problem with seeing Mac Jones for a year. And if you don't do good, you get higher round draft picks. And I'm sure Bill Belichick has plenty of draft picks stocked up from all these crazy deals he generally does. And
not as many as he used to.
But he can draft maybe a wide receiver that Mac Jones really liked that could be coming out and is a first round caliber or a second or a third. And bring in these capable counterpiece or chess pieces with him, kind of like Trevor Lawrence down in Jacksonville.
Well, speaking of Trevor Lawrence,
didn't they pick up somebody for him too? So I mean, it's
all I'm saying is
if
I had to choose between the two quarterbacks to win me a game to make the
got that
playoffs,
lower in the list.
I'm going with Cam Newton.
Same.
All right. Well, speaking of Trevor Lawrence, Nate, that was a nice.
Hey, Chris, stop talking so much. Damn it, you're hogging up the conversation.
Well, because Nate gave us a good transition. Trevor Lawrence has played a rough 2 first outings, showing that if you pressure him and play tight coverage, he gets flustered and gets sacked more often than not.
The heck you say? A rookie quarterback getting flustered and
hold on.
Chris got something to say.
I've said this for the last 2 fucking years. Sorry, language. 2 years about Trevor Lawrence. If you can pressure him, he is garbage.
And I knew that too. That's why I said he's not the number one. Why are they here by like sucking? Because he's tall. So what? I mean, because he looks like a Barbie. I mean, dude.
Unless you have a line.
But he is not that. I mean, he may become that guy. But like you said, Chris, you pressure him. The windows in the NFL, as you guys know, are this big, not this big.
Maybe
Tua has to deal with the same. Let's not much care for Tua that much because of the windows. I'm telling you, I said that he shouldn't be the number one draft. You know what? I'm shutting up.
So with Chris's and Smitty's input, is Trevor Lawrence going to be a bust, or is it just an issue with the Jaguars' offense?
It's too early to tell. But
yeah, I think it's a mixture. I think until you get a line that can actually block for him and give him time, I think he can make plays. Absolutely, he's a good quarterback. Do I think he's going to be, what people are making him out to be? Maybe in a few years, but not right away.
I mean, look at Josh Allen. He was trashed the first 3 years he was playing in the NFL. Like, oh, he sucks. And then all of a sudden, he's up in conversation with Mahomes and Brady.
As an MVP candidate.
I think Trevor Lawrence is going to be one of the best quarterbacks in the XFL.
I like that.
Hey, Cardale Jones may have something to say about that.
I hope he does well, but on that team.
Well, I mean, and they brought in a running back, and I think I might be jumping ahead. I don't have the doc open.
He is hurt for the season as of right now.
Yes, he is out for the season.
He has a Liz Frank fracture in his foot, so
yes.
Who was the running back?
Travis Etienne.
Oh, that's right. They drafted that guy, didn't they?
Yes, they did.
Yeah.
Shortly after.
It sucks. Just this is why me and Nick are talking about drafting folks. Like, you don't trade the world to get the number one draft pick. If you have the number one, you trade that bad boy back for 5 or 6 if you can. You just keep trading back, and you get
as
15
much as you
draft
can.
picks in the draft.
Yeah,
not 7.
If I was an owner or GM, I would never take the first overall draft pick. I would trade that bitch off. I could have the worst team. Absolute. You all would be on my starting offense. I could have that team.
Does that mean I'm playing quarterback?
I would trade my first overall draft pick and just pick up more picks. Give me the beef. I want all of it.
You heard it here, folks.
He wants all the beef.
Because
what did they draft him at? They drafted him at like 16 or 18 or something?
Yeah, all I know is they had 2 picks in the first round, if I remember correctly, right? Right, Jeremy?
Something like that.
See,
Yeah, it's just it's not. I mean, it's not a great team to begin with. They're starting from scratch basically, and they got supposed to be a really good quarterback. They don't got a line that can block right now. Maybe they'll mesh, but they don't have the. They were supposed to do a 1-2 kill. Quarterback, running back, both great. They're starting a fresh, brand new young team. Well, it's not really going to work that way, and that's what happens when you're a football team. You just cannot guarantee that's going to work out. So It's very scary if I'm a coach, owner, to try to get that number 1 draft pick. If I have it, like Nate said, I'm backing up.
So, guesses right now, this second, are more than likely than not, are they going to get the number 1 draft pick again overall again this year?
No, they'll have like the 3 or 4.
Yeah, they'll win a few games at least.
So they're going to win more games than the worst team in the league.
Yeah.
Well, let's see who I picked.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Let's see
thinking.
who I picked as the worst team in the league.
No, I think the Jags get the number 1 draft pick next year too.
Jacksonville.
It'll be a tiebreaker.
Well, I have them winning 5 games.
Well, I think before we had all the report. Well, we hadn't seen Trevor Lawrence play until last weekend. So this past weekend. So the second game, and he just looks awful.
If I'm looking at my entire league, first pick goes to Jets. Second pick goes to.
Well, don't tell us now. We got to do the whole draft pick. The numbers of the
we
NFC.
can go over that.
Well,
Yeah, I'm Jets and Cincinnati at the lowest points. Yeah, I'm Jets and Cincinnati both on the AFC side as the lowest 2 scores.
Trevor Lawrence
with winning.
Can't learn to get
2
the ball
wins.
out of there faster. Then I have a feeling they'll be vying for the number 1 pick again.
And my 3 lowest teams for next year are going to be Jets, Jags, and Texans. But I think the Jets are going to win more games. I think.
I have Jets, Pittsburgh, Philly.
It's going to be a tie between
I got Cincinnati, Jets, and then Houston.
Yep. So
we still know who's playing for Houston, so that could be the whole issue.
What's his name? Who was going to play the
loser bowl?
Who, Jeremy?
He was supposed to start for the Chargers last year before he took the needle too deep. Used to play for Bills. Why am I drawing on
Tyrod Taylor?
Yes, Tyrod Taylor. I believe that's who's starting for them this year.
Ah.
I know Teddy Bridgewater starting in Denver.
Yeah, Denver.
Yeah, Bridgewater's looking good.
Yeah.
I think he won the starting position, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
He did. That was on my list too to talk about later. But
All right,
okay.
so we'll get to some more of that.
Let's talk about it now.
Well, first we'll get to the trades. So, the Patriots traded running back Sony Michel to the Rams, who also is the only touchdown from that Super Bowl was Sony Michel against the Rams to win that defensive only.
Travis, I can't hear you, man.
I can't hear you either.
Can you hear me?
Chris's fan going.
Oh yeah, someone's making noise because it's not me. Hello.
You
I can hear you now.
All right. So Sony Michel had the only touchdown against the Rams in that Super Bowl, and now he's being traded to the Rams for 2 late-round draft picks this week. He had a breakout season in 2018, but then he fell into a massive slump for 2019 and 2020, basically where he was a no-show. Do you think a change of scenery will actually help him, or was he a one-hit wonder?
I heard none of that. I understand the last thing you asked.
So he needs a running back. He needs a fullback to run behind. He's a decent runner if he has a good hole to run through. He's not a patient runner, and he's not going to make his own yards after contact.
Could he be a good return guy for kickoffs or punts?
No, he's not. He's not that type of runner.
He can't catch the ball worth a damn.
Yes, he hasn't been very good out of the backfield catching the ball either.
Okay, and he is in the Rams now.
He's on the Rams playing with Matt Stafford.
Yep. All right, Nate, what's so funny?
I've been laughing at Chris this whole time.
Yeah, that's what I was laughing at.
It's like the quiet guy and the guy trying to be quiet in a movie theater. And
No, it's like that Family Guy episode. He's eating the chips.
I just muted my thing before I opened that.
when you move in your chair, you totally screwed Travis's audio, and the fan kicked in, and like
I got up to shut the fan off.
Jim, and then like
It's not your fault.
I couldn't help but laugh about it. Like you're trying to be quiet, and it's just the loudest because it's not what you're actually doing.
Exactly. It's like that Family Guy episode where he's eating the chips in like the attic of whatever
Yeah.
the Jewish girl
Yeah. And Frank.
and Frank.
Yes.
Hold on.
Other trades that happened this week were the Ravens traded Sean Wade to the Patriots. The Panthers traded Denzel Perryman to the Raiders. The Texans traded John Reed to the Seahawks. Packers. Really?
Other way around. Packers traded
No.
Kadar Holman to the
No.
Texans.
No, because I got the. Oh yeah, no, because the Patriots traded Sony Michel to the Rams.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, so the Texans
The
traded
Pa-
John Reed to the Seahawks, and Packers traded Kadar Holman to the Texans.
Yes.
The Panthers traded Greg Little to the Dolphins. Packers also traded Josh Jackson to the Giants. The Giants traded Isaac Yadom to the Packers. Were you happy about that, Nate? You got yourself a corner?
I mean, they went corner for corner. I think there was just like they're both essentially the same player, and they just needed a change of scenery to maybe help each player get better.
Yeah.
The scheme is different in both places. Either quarterback plays better than that scheme that defense has started.
Yeah, essentially, it's pretty much all it is. It's an even match, and one.
Yeah, it's a corner for corner trade.
They traded a
Struggling
quarter for a different quarter.
Yeah, they just swapped them over to see if Isaac will do well in Green Bay and Josh will do good in New York. That's all it is.
The Texans got rid of Keenon Corson to the Giants. And the
No
Jags.
way! Oh my God, he was like the best player I never heard of.
He's a
Most of
defensive
these
back,
players,
apparently.
I don't even know who the hell
Yeah,
they
and the
are.
Jaguars sent Joe Schobert to the Steelers.
I feel like Chris right now. What the fuck are you talking
Yeah.
about?
I don't know what I'm talking
I
about.
think the Greg Little trade is significant enough. Of
Oh,
that
I knew about that one.
game, yeah.
Let's see.
Also,
Yeah.
the Panthers acquired kicker Ryan Santos from the Giants in a trade. That one wasn't listed, but that one just happened recently. It must have been newer than the list.
Apparently some
So that
Jaguars.
seemed like
Apparently some Jaguars players aren't thrilled with head coach Urban Myers and his college-like ways. What do
I
you
actually
mean by
just saw
that?
something scrolling through Facebook news earlier about this, and what is this all about?
it seems like some of the more veteran players aren't too happy with the way he is treating them. Like he's treating them like they are college kids. And you can't treat 30-something-year-olds like you would a college kid who you're recruiting to play on your team.
I mean, have you not heard any of your military friends bitching? They can treat you however they want to treat you. If you don't like it, get the hell out.
Who we talking about? What's his name in?
Urban Meyer,
Urban
Meyer,
Myers. He
the
was a
head coach
college
for
coach.
Jacksonville.
Oh, that's
So-
right. That's another reason they're going to end up not being the number one draft pick again next year.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of the players that are more than 3 or 4 years post-draft are not very thrilled with his way of
It's kind of
everything.
right. It's kind of hard to do that. You know, a person that got $5 to $20 million in the bank is like, screw you. Have you remember Cam Cameron from Miami when they went 1-15? That's gonna happen.
Yep, very true.
They'll be like, well, give us a new coach.
Well, that's always been the issue where college coaches go to the pros. They're especially like well-established college coaches. It takes them a while to change their mindset to really get into the pro
To realize
way of dealing with things. Where in college, you're recruiting these kids out of high school. You're selling them the world to get them to come there, and they make the choice to go there. Where in the pros, you are paying them to show up. And a lot of these players, if they don't like what you're doing, they're going to be very vocal about it, and they're not worried about being fired because they're going, well, I'll just find another team that'll pick me up.
Yep. Do we think that because he's forgetting that he's not dealing with kids that are 18, 19, and 20, and maybe 21, that he is going to run himself out of there? Because Jaguars are going to be like, the only one that's going to get behind him is probably Trevor Lawrence, because he's fresh out of college. The rest aren't going to be like, I ain't dealing with you. Go to hell. And they're going to be like all over every social media and be like, we lost because our coach is an idiot. He should have stayed in college.
Well, let's hope that none of the players do that, because that's just unprofessional. And I think Urban Meyers will get the benefit of the doubt. I think he's an adult. He's a mature person who's coached football forever. I think he can adjust.
Yeah, but
it's
the way you
take him a while.
Yeah, but the way you treat an adult that's been paid $20-30 million for a couple of years compared to a kid that's came to your school and signed up to play for you is a bit different, and he's forgetting that, I think.
I guess that's true, but I tell you right now, you pay me $20 million, you can treat me however the hell you want to.
Yeah, but that's the difference between us and them. They know they can go make that $20 million at any other place too. They got show me the money, guys. Jerry, what? Huh?
Jerry Maguire.
Yes. What the hell? Who was Jerry Maguire? He was a
Tom Cruise.
Yeah,
agent. He was
agent. Yes, that's the word I'm looking for. They got agents that'll go get him the money. Oh, you're breaking up, Jeremy.
I'm not saying anything. I'm just shaking my head at your.
Yeah, but you're not moving at all.
Agent. Huh?
You're not moving at all in the video. Your beer is in
not
one
moving
place.
on general.
All right, so next we got Ryan Tannehill. Was among 9 of Tennessee's Titans that tested positive for the COVID-19. Apparently,
They didn't learn shit from last year.
What was that, Chris?
I said they obviously didn't learn anything from last year because they had the same problem last year.
Yes, but this time they're all fully vaccinated, including their head coach, who's fully vaccinated and also has COVID.
I have a feeling that they're like making out with each other.
They won't be quarantined by the beginning of the season.
Hold on. So you're saying they're all fully vaccinated, but they've all tested positive for the COVID-19?
Yes.
How good is that vaccine working?
Well, the vaccine, I mean, I would think that just like the vaccine, like the flu vaccine, if you get the injection, you have a really good chance of getting the COVID, because that's what it kind of does.
Yeah.
Just helps you fight it off.
But
You
no,
get
because
that
the
variant
COVID vaccine isn't the same way a flu vaccine is. The COVID vaccine doesn't actually have the COVID virus in it.
Yeah.
It's not a live virus. So essentially, the COVID vaccine is designed to, yes, it is to help prevent you from getting COVID, but it's not obviously with the variants and all that. It's to lessen the effects of it.
Right.
So because of so many of them now have the COVID, the NFL is considering changes to protocols, but not stadium capacity apparently at the Titans. So how do you think that's going to work out for them?
No, that's not just for the Titans. That's league-wide.
Oh, league-wide.
People are just stupid. They make no sense.
None of them make sense.
Oh, but I'm sorry that Tannehill, the real deal Tannehill, got infected. But at least the quarantine will be over by the time the first game of the season starts.
True.
So,
very true.
So apparently some of the changes could be masks inside the facilities could return. Test frequency for everybody could increase. But the NFL is still planning on playing in front of full stadiums this fall. So that's good. At least there'll be games to watch with actual fans in the stands and not just piped in noise, because that kind of sucked. Oh, Nate's got to go to the bathroom.
I keep forgetting that I am literally 45 minutes from Nashville to watch a football game.
Yeah.
Why have I not gone?
I don't know why.
Well,
I
last
don't
year,
know.
maybe, but this year,
All I know is me, you, and Chris could meet at a game up there.
It's only like 6 hours from here to Nashville.
I think it's only like 4 hours,
Well-
but I could take a direct flight out of Greenville, so it's like
Chris, when do you get out of Hawaii?
I'd be back for playoffs.
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 I'll be happy if we can win a game.
What's that?
It's
Playoffs?
2022 season.
You kidding me?
Well, I won't be living here then.
I just hope
yeah,
we
you
win
will.
a game.
Don't lie to yourself.
It's probably true.
Starting at less than
So
$1
going
a
along
day.
with the whole COVID fiasco going on, Bills receiver Isaiah McKenzie, Coles Beasley were both fined for violating the COVID-19 protocols by not wearing a mask inside the facility because they are not vaccinated.
See, and they should be fined because I'm not an anti-vax or whatever. I don't have the vaccine. I don't have it. I don't plan on ever getting it. But my reasons are my own. I don't think it's trying to kill the people off or give us, track. I don't know. But they have.
You have tomato things that are going to kill you before COVID would?
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, me and
I'm not worried about putting something in my
smoke
body
almost the
because
same
Lord knows I'll
amount.
put my body on. I mean,
Yeah.
so, but they have protocol for a reason. And if you don't want to wear a mask because you're walking outside in your house, whatever, but if you're in an area that they say that's your part of your job, you need to wear your mask, then put your freaking mask on. It's that simple. I mean, or don't go to the facility.
I never said they shouldn't have been fined. I was just saying on top of the COVID. I completely agree.
I think,
mean,
Cole
it's
Beasley
part of their
is
job.
Yeah, Coles Beasley has been this whole time is that but it keeps saying, well, if you're vaccinated, you can do whatever you want. But then you see the whole Tennessee Titans, who's fully vaccinated, now they all have the COVID and now they all have to quarantine. But he's the same, but he can't be, even though he's healthy and young, and like more than likely, if he caught the COVID, it's not gonna hurt him very much, right? He's in good shape. He's fairly young. He's takes care of himself. If he gets it, he's gonna get sick for a couple of days and be fine. And he's saying, well, if they're gonna be put all these mandates back in for the Tennessee Titans who are fully vaccinated, what the hell's the difference if I don't wear a mask and I'm walking around when I'm not vaccinated? Because if I get the COVID, I get the COVID.
Because
Apparently
that's the protocol to wear the mask inside the facility. That's why.
Yeah, it's the NFL protocol.
He's also been out since the very get-go about this because it's like there's two different rules for everybody, and just because they don't want to admit that you can still get the COVID after the vaccine and you can still be just as sick even after getting the vaccine.
Well, it's kind of like, I'm not sure if you guys were went to a club, being married men like you are, but there's plenty of clubs that say, at least used to be, you couldn't go into them if you wore just a white T-shirt. You actually had to wear a T-shirt, but it couldn't just be plain white. It's big in Germany.
Really?
Yeah, because I
Up
guess
here,
that,
it's
I'm not
usually
sure why.
it was hoods. If you couldn't wear
You can't
a
just
certain
wear a white
hoodies.
T-shirt. You can have a blue T-shirt, a red T-shirt, or whatever, but it can't just be a plain white T-shirt. Now, that is their protocol. That's what they said. You cannot go into this place if that's what you're wearing and only that. So you go in there wearing that, they kick you out. It's the same thing.
Really? Up here was hoodies. The big thing was like hoodies.
Okay, well, so you go.
But that was because they had too many people coming in there shooting people.
That would explain a lot. But you could wear a trench coat, right?
No.
Yes. Trench coats were okay as long as you can see your head. They could ID you later at that point in time.
All right. Well, we talked a little bit about this. The Broncos head coach Vic Fangio named Teddy Bridgewater. Fangio named Teddy Bridgewater the starting QB over Drew Lock heading into 2021. Did this surprise anybody?
No.
Not a single soul.
Neither surprised or not surprised. I think that they were both quarterbacks that I think this is probably the most fair competition in the league as far as the quarterback was. And
I agree with you on this one.
yeah, because it really honestly could have gone either way.
Right.
And it just happened to go to Teddy, which is great. I mean, they're both good quarterbacks. Just I'm not surprised.
So the thing is, Vic Fangio is a first-year coach there. and they have a new GM. So this coach and GM have no attachment to the high draft pick Drew Lock.
Right.
And they brought in Bridgewater to compete against him to see, okay, we know Teddy Bridgewater was a high draft pick coming out of college.
Yep.
He had a few injuries, which drove him out of Minnesota, and Carolina was just a disaster last year once the running back
McCaffrey.
went down.
Look at that, Chris.
So, yeah. So
Look at Chris playing in the NFL now.
I know like 6 people. You know.
So they went, okay, well, we'll give him a shot, see if how he compares to Drew Lock. So this coach and GM had no attachments to either of them really. One of them's still on a rookie contract. One of them's on a short-term, low-dollar value contract.
Yep.
And so this was pretty much, as Nate said, the fairest competition out there. There was no pre-existing ties. There was no pre-existing relationships. It was man versus man. Whoever can prove that you are the better quarterback gets the job.
Nobody took anybody out for lobster dinners beforehand. Is that what you're saying?
Oh, there was probably many things that were happening beforehand. But in theory, the competition was as pure and simple as who is the best.
All right, Chris.
Who is the best quarterback for our team right now?
Yeah.
Well, I hope they do well. I would like to see Teddy Bridgewater and Denver do well.
And honestly, it's just like the same thing that's going to happen in New Orleans and the same thing that's going to happen in New England and the same thing that's going to happen in Chicago. They're going with the veteran because at the end of the day, if the veteran doesn't work out, you can move to the young guy.
Mm-hmm.
Where if you go to the veteran, nope, you're not a starter, and then the young guy goes in and plays like crap, and then you call on the veteran, well, guess what? He's only going to halfway be involved. Like,
Yeah, he's not going to
engaged in
really
the
push
situation.
for the win.
Exactly. He's going to push to pad his stats for his next contract. He's not going to push for wins for your team.
What are you eating now, Nate? A professional eater. What are you eating?
I mean, Chris has been eating the whole show, and
Yeah, but we knew what Chris was eating.
Yeah.
He was eating everything underneath the sun.
I'm just having chips and queso with some beer.
Oh, that sounds good.
Oh, that sounds so good.
It felt appropriate for this kind of show.
Chips, queso, and beer. I thought you were on a diet.
That is his diet.
I don't eat very much during the day, so
No.
when I do eat, I like to eat.
Jeremy already had said this earlier, but Jacksonville Jaguars running back Travis Einstein?
ETN.
ETN?
ETN. It's ETN.
E.T. for harm. Is out for the 2021 season with a
That was awful. Absolutely.
with a what kind of injury is that, Jeremy?
A Liz Frank injury. It's a fractured bone in his foot, I believe.
Ah,
Is the technical what a Liz Frank injury is.
He's just a running back. He can play through it. Come on, dude.
yeah, it's like turf toe. It's not nothing big. It's just when the toe gets bent all the way back, right? It's like when I found that out, I was like, "What the hell? That has a really crappy name for something that's really bad."
Okay. So a Liz Frank injury is a Tassar.
We need Christopher here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll ask him when he gets back after he drops the Browns.
What
off
are
in the
those?
swimming
What are the
pool.
little bones in your feet? They're
Okay.
Phalanges?
no the tarso.
Tarsal. Tarsal
Yeah,
is appendage in the toe.
yeah, the tarsal fractured dislocation.
So it's broken and dislocated. Oh, that's fun.
Of his
Yeah,
cup.
so the symptoms are pain in your midfoot, sort of the touch, swelling, deformality in the middle region of your foot, inability to put weight on your foot, bruising in the middle of your foot.
The pain was what got me. I had no idea if you break a bone, you get pain involved.
Well, it's
Well,
kind
normally
of
if it's broken, it doesn't hurt as bad.
yeah. Until I walked on it, it didn't hurt. Tried to take a step and when I broke my ankle and that hurt. But until
So
that point, it didn't
When
hurt.
Chris is done when Chris is done hanging out in the bathroom, we can ask him the definition of a Liz Frank injury and see what he says.
Yes. And last thing we got on here is Luke Wilson decided to walk away after signing with the Seattle Seahawks, citing heart issues.
The actor?
Yeah.
Apparently. I didn't know he
so
could play.
basically, he's saying he has no heart because he's a coward. You don't want to play the game no more.
Maybe. Jern, you got anything else on that?
So apparently this was his, I believe I read it was his fourth stint with the Seahawks.
Yeah.
He's a tight end. He's a 31-year-old. He went through heart issues over the course of the offseason that led to him spending days in the hospital.
Okay.
No.
Now I feel bad.
Yeah, he should step away. I mean,
So-
in 9 years.
So after signing with the Seahawks, one day later he decided to retire.
Something must happen that one day. Talking to his wife, his kids, somebody, and
It almost sounds like he's like, hey, I want to retire as a Seahawk. Sign me. I'm going to retire tomorrow.
yeah.
We're gonna...
Well, I wonder if he signed in that first day out there. He felt his something that didn't feel right. He's like, all right, I'm shutting it down. I'm done.
Yeah, it could have been either or, because he's like, I've been with the Seahawks for a while, back and forth. Just
I didn't
sign
know that
me.
Joe Paterno was in Seattle.
Yeah. So he came out. He was a 5th-round draft pick in 2013. Spent the bulk of his career at the Seahawks. Also stopped at the Lions, the Raiders, and the Ravens. Also a member of the 2013 Seahawks when they won the Super Bowl.
Ah, yes.
He finished with 111 receptions for 1,307 yards and 11 touchdowns.
And he has a Super Bowl ring.
And the Super Bowl ring,
Was he there the year after when the Patriots beat them?
probably.
Was the pass
You
to
mean-
him?
You mean when Russell Wilson threw the ball instead of handing it to Mr. Skittles?
Yes.
No,
Dude,
he is Mr. Skittles.
No, I mean, there's been a lot of bad calls in football games, but that would be my top 5 of bad calls in a football game.
That he
Okay,
should-
our doctor has returned.
He might not know this. He's just a medical. I mean, he's just a military combat vet type person. He might not know real body parts and things that are wrong.
he doesn't know
Okay,
real
c-
body
c-
parts.
It's emotion.
Can we get a dumbified version of a Liz Frank injury?
It's a really serious type of fracture in the foot. Ironically, I'm a podiatry tech. It's a severe fracture in the foot. Essentially, it's like kind of a spiral fracture in the foot.
Ouch.
He's right on.
It sounds
You-
yeah.
put that-
It
Didn't you need
sounds
like on my feet? I got knots on the bottom of them like this. All both feet.
You probably need a bunionectomy.
a bloodiectomy.
I've had a profile on my right foot for 15 years, and my left foot started acting up about 2 years ago. They both have been claimed now, so I will be collecting money from the Army for it.
There you go.
Oh, don't worry. Pretty soon the Army will come and take him back.
I can't stand longer than 15 minutes before I start crying. So
Well, that's because you're just a baby.
Oh, I thought you were just golfing I thought you were just crying because your golf game was that bad that day.
Did you notice I'd go sit in the cart a lot?
Just wait until we're in standing room only at the Dolphins game.
You did join me in the cart quite often.
We-
Well, it also helped that me and Smitty just had to go chase Germany's ball to find out where it went.
It's
That
not
was fun.
my fault I hit the ball far.
That was a
You
good
know,
time.
it absolutely is your fault you hit the ball.
Well, the worst part is, Smitty, is that when you come up this time, he won't be around to go golfing with.
It's true.
So, like, when you come up, if me, you, and Nate go golfing, we're just gonna have to chase Nate's ball.
It's the woods.
I'm
We'll
pretty
wait
sure
a lot longer.
the 11th.
What, Nate?
I said I'm pretty sure there's a golf tournament on the 11th.
Is that during Smitty's time up here?
Yep.
Oh, we can see if we can try and get in, then we can lose that because we don't our big hitter.
We have Matt.
Well, yeah, but Journey outdrove you and Matt any day after we had 2 beers.
Well, I was doing pretty good with my new clubs.
Yeah,
You were.
that new club I did like swinging.
Mhm.
I hit the ball actually straight with that new club.
Between the four of us were competitive and somewhat decent.
Yeah. Well, it helps that Smitty's just there for shits and giggles.
I'm there for looks. I'm the pretty one of the bunch.
You
You're,
really
you're there
are.
for the old ladies.
You do know your way around the shaft and balls.
I did.
Especially the balls.
Especially the balls.
So
I
Jeremy,
was
just
actually
say,
very disappointed when that young lady would come around with the drinks and offer them to us, and then you all told me that was actually her job, not because she liked me. I was very.
so Jeremy, a more specific answer to your question about ATN's injury. So a Liz Frank fracture injury is either a dislocation or fracture of the second metatarsal up at the top, towards the top of your foot where it meets the
Metatarsal.
ankle, right? There's actual ligament there called the Liz Frank ligament. You can tear that. Yeah. So it's pretty severe for a running back, especially.
Okay. Okay, what's next?
All right, and now we are going to talk about our NFC picks from last year and figure out them for this year.
My
I need to
favorite part
find
of the
YouTube
show.
thing so I can look at it.
All right. So everybody ready?
I am ready.
So last year for NFC. Oh, I forgot to go through this earlier. The Washington football team. Nate was correct, perfectly for that one. I was below. Jeremy was even further behind, and Smitty was the same as Jeremy. Cowboys. None of us expected them to lose Dak, so he was behind. So we were all above. And the Eagles
we were close.
We were close, but the Eagles were way below where we expected them to be at 4-11. We all expected to be like 7-9, 9-7. Smitty expected a 10-6 year out of them. How do you feel about that, Smitty? Seattle Seahawks 12-4. Nate got it correct again, and so did you, Jeremy. Let's see. The Rams did better than we expected at 10-6.
I had it opposite.
Me and you were close on the Arizona Cardinals because they were 8-8. I had 7-9. You had 9-7.
Smitty had 8-8.
Yeah, Smitty did hit that dead right. The San Francisco 49ers were a disaster for us because we all expected them to be the top runner in the NFC West, and they only went 6-10 again.
We didn't see Garoppolo and like 600 other starters going down very quickly.
Yeah, no, that was not helpful. The Packers did slightly above where I expected. I went 12-4, and they went 13-3. Let's see. Smitty got the Chicago Bears correct at 8-8.
So did I.
The Minnesota Vikings ended up much worse than we expected.
Yeah.
And let's see. Detroit Lions, they had a rough go of it at 5-11. We expected them to be Nate expected just slightly less than a 500 team. I expected a 500 team. Smitty was the same, and then Jeremy, you expected a little bit better.
So we all hit except for Smitty on the Saints at 12-4.
Yeah, we all hit the Saints at 12-4.
No, Nate hit exact on Tampa at 11-5.
Nate hit exactly on Tampa at 11-5, and Carolina Panthers did a little better than we expected because we all expected. Let's see, Nate expected 1 win. I got 3. You had 2.
Smitty had 4.
And then you got 5. The Atlanta Falcons were. Smitty was the closest with saying they would only get 5 wins because they only got 4 wins.
And Smitty was close on Atlanta with 5 wins when they only had 4.
Yes. All right. So everybody ready to make the predictions for this year?
Yes.
All right. So Chris is like, I get to join this one. All right. So Nate, let's start off with the football team. That would be the NFC East.
Yeah. Washington, I have at 12-5 and going undefeated in the division.
12-5. Boy, you're really digging for them. Okay.
In Fitzmagic, he trusts.
I would love to see that.
I have a 7-10 season for them. Jeremy, where do you got them?
I have them at 8 and 9.
8 and 9. Chris, where do you got them?
10 and 7.
10 and 7. Oh, you flipped me. Smitty, what do you got?
6 and 11.
6 and 11. Wow, we didn't agree on that one at all. Next, we got the Dallas Cowboys. Smitty, what do you got?
I got the Cowboys at 9 and 8.
9 and 8. Chris, what do you got them at?
Just pick a number.
I had to look real quick. Sorry. I have them at 11 and 6.
11 and 6. Jerry, what do you got?
I have them at 12 and 5 with a big bounce back year.
12.
That would be a huge bounce back there.
That would be.
Well, I mean,
huge.
they lost their starting quarterback and their backups weren't good at all.
Yeah,
So
No.
Yeah.
that team is pretty stacked.
If they can actually get things moving, maybe a little better, but I still have that 6 and 11 right now.
They need a defense.
Yeah, that's my worry. Nate, what do you got them?
3 and 14.
3 and 14.
They have a better team than that, Nate.
You can tell what team Nate doesn't like.
This is the NFC East, so anything's
Yeah, they're
possible.
all going to be 9 and 7, okay?
We're gonna
There'll
have
be
a
one team that's 10
four-way
and
tie.
7.
They're
Well,
all gonna split
to be
games
fair,
between each other.
They're not in 4th place in that division for me.
Neither me. So Nate, what do you got the Giants at?
8 and 9.
8 and 9. The Giants, I do not trust one little bit with the season schedule they have, so I got them at 2 and 15. Jerry, where you got them?
I got them at 4 and 13.
4 and 13. Chris, where do you got them?
I have them at 7 and 10.
7 and 10. Smitty, what do you got them?
I agree with Jeremy at 4 and 13.
4 and 13. All right, so Smitty, the Philadelphia Eagles, what do you got?
I got them at 7 and 10.
7 and 10. Chris, what do you got them?
6 and 11.
6 and 11. Jeremy,
5 and 12.
5 and 12. I also have them at 2 and 15. I don't. Between those two, I think they're vying for last place. And Nate, what do you got for them?
3 and 14.
3 and 14.
So, in other words, Washington's going to win more than 10 games. The other 3 aren't going to get more than 5.
Well, I get
Well, the Giants are 8 and 9.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was thinking.
yeah. So, and who says the Cowboys are gonna? Journey says the bounce back for the Cowboys this year with 12 and
This is-
5.
We cannot get along on any of those, except for that one me and Jeremy did. That was,
No.
Yeah, we're as a group of 5 of us, we're
funny part
everywhere
is-
across the board.
Yeah, the funny part is the only ones we can trust that they might have double-digit wins is you have Chris and Nate with the Washington Cowboys, and you have
The Washington Cowboys.
the Washington football team,
I don't think the Dallas Cowboys would like Washington taking their name.
and Jeremy is the only one that thinks the Dallas Cowboys are gonna win this year. So, it's that one but that division is always a crapshoot.
and actually, in my thing, I have them winning their division going to the playoffs at 9 and 8.
Yeah, you do.
Yep.
All right, so Nate, you want to start off the Seattle Seahawks?
Sure. Seattle is down here. They are 5 and 12.
Wow, that's a bad
Damn.
season. I have Seattle doing 13 and 4.
They also do not win a game in their division this season.
That'd be interesting. Jerry, where do you got them at?
I have them at 14 and 3
14
in a
and
very
3.
stacked division.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do.
Chris, where do you got them?
12 and 5.
12 and 5. Smitty, where do you
I
got
got
them?
2 other teams in that division with that record.
I got them at 10, 5, and 2. I'm joking. I got them at 10 and 7.
10 and 7.
I didn't think I could pick a tie in this.
Yeah, I didn't see any tie picks. Smitty, what do you got for the Los Angeles Rams?
Los Angeles Rams, I got them at 13 and 4.
13 and 4. Chris,
Yes,
where do
sir.
you got them?
I had them at 12 and 5.
12 and 5. Oop. And 5. Jerry, where do you got them?
I have that in at 6 and 11 because till Matt Stafford can prove he can beat winning teams, I still don't trust him.
That is a worrisome, but I have them at 12 and 5 also. So Chris,
13
we
and 4,
agree.
son.
Nate, where do you got him at?
13 and 4.
13 and 4 with Matt Stafford. Interesting. The
I mean, look what they did last year.
Arizona Cardinals. Nate, where you got him?
Stafford is good every year. It's just the team around him isn't that great.
So Nate, where do you got the Arizona Cardinals?
10 and 7.
10 and 7.
They break even with the division.
I got the Arizona Cardinals at 3 and 14. Jerry, where do you got
The
them?
same Arizona Cardinals that play in the NFL.
Yeah,
I got
Not
them
St.
at
Louis
12 and
Cardinals
5.
for the
12
MLB.
and 5. Maybe I
Okay.
thought it was the wrong team I was looking at, but that's where I got them. Chris, where do
They
you got them?
do kind of have almost the best receiver in the NFL on that team, and
He doesn't wanna play.
a very good.
Is a real good quarterback that just gets overshined by Patrick.
And a stud defense.
Yes.
Well, that's fine. You can go with your.
Yeah,
I hope you're right, Travis. I do. I really hope you're right.
I laughed my ass off if at the end of the season I am right.
I hope you are.
I sure hope so too. All right, what do you got, Chris?
10 and 7.
10 and 7. Smitty, what do you got?
12 and 5.
12 and 5. All right, and last but not least, the San Francisco 49ers.
Oh, it's me, isn't it?
Yeah,
11 and 6.
11 and 6. Chris, where do you got them?
Sorry, 13 and 4.
13 and 4. Jaron, where do you got them?
12 and 5.
12 and 5. I have them at 10 and 7. Nate, where do you got them?
I'm sorry. 49ers 8 and 9.
8 and 9.
Hmm.
Because there's no more 50, getting 50% of your wins anymore.
You cannot be. Well, you can if you have a tie.
Yeah,
If you have a
well,
tie.
Yeah.
You can be 8 and 1.
Yeah.
It's your
that-
only option.
That's the only way to be a 500 team.
Mhm.
All right. Now let's go to the Great North.
They should have had 2 games this year instead of 1.
Let's go up to the Green Bay Packers. And let's start with Green Bay Packer Nate.
16 and 1.
16 and 1. You know, want to know something funny, Nate?
What? Sorry, I can't. Oh, I can't help but hear just Smitty choking on his own dick.
I am also at 16 and 1. Jeremy, where do you got them?
I have them at 12 and 5.
12 and 5. Chris, where do you got
I
them?
felt like 16 and 1 was high, but some of the matchups they have.
Yeah, them and like the South.
Them and
have-
Tampa have a very favorable matchup
Yeah.
They
all
do.
season.
Yeah, so they actually have the same. Well, Chris, where do you got them?
15 and 2.
15 and 2. Smitty, where do you got them?
5 and 12. I'm joking. I would never do that. 14 and 3.
You almost got 14 and 3. You almost have 5 and 12 just for shits and giggles. All right, let's go to Chris's Chicago Bears. Smitty,
Oh, the Bears. The Bears.
Dub Bears.
I deleted them off of this app because they're not a football team.
Just because they're a middle school football team doesn't mean anything.
I have them at 5 and 12.
5 and 12. Chris, where do you have your Bears?
I have them at 7 and 10.
7 and 10. Talk about being realistic. Jeremy, where do you got them?
I have them at 5 and 12.
5 and 12. Ooh.
Nate has them at like 1 and something. So
I have them at 8 and 9. So,
Oh,
Nate, where do you got them?
4 and 13.
Oh,
that's not bad. And Chris, it's not even your fault, but I knew a guy, me and Nate both know, the Chicago Bear fan. And he put such a bad taste in our mouth over the Bears. Even if I thought they were going to go 12 and 5, I still would have gave them like a 9 and 7.
you know how you get that bad taste out of your mouth?
You mean 10 and
Use
7 now?
mouthwash.
Oh.
all right. So let's go to Nate's other favorite team in the North, the Minnesota Vikings.
Is it me?
Yes.
It is.
Yeah.
14 and 3.
14 and 3.
Hmm?
I have them also at 8 and 9. Tie for second place. Jeremy, what do you got?
8 and 9.
8 and 9. Chris, what do you got?
9 and 8.
9 and 8. Smitty, what do you got?
9 and 8.
9 and 8.
So everyone except for Nate is realistic here.
Yeah.
That's gonna be.
We're
hovering around
expecting them
500.
to be.
I hope Minnesota as well. I hope they do get 10 games, 11 games.
It's gonna be a
Minnesota
flip.
is the only team in the NFC North that threatens the Packers, in my opinion.
But they don't.
Not this year, I don't think. They're gonna be a flip coin 500 team. That's what our prediction is.
They're going to do very well.
All right, and last but not least in the North, the Detroit Lions. Smitty, what do you got?
7-10.
7-10. Chris, what do you got?
Also had them at 7-10.
7-10. Jeremy,
5-12.
5-12. Well, I'm not far behind you. I got them at 3-14. And Nate, what do you have for your favorite team in the whole wide world?
I mean, I do like the Lions. They're 7-10.
7
There's
and
3 of
10.
us got them 7-10. That's the first time I think we had 3 people say the same score. One for one team.
Same
Yeah,
record.
we've had
Yeah.
two.
Yeah.
We have 2 on one side, 2 on the other. But that's all right. Now let's go to the South. We have the New Orleans Saints.
9-8.
9-8. I have them at 14-3.
Holy shit.
He believes in
The
Tyson Hill.
South has the easiest matches
They
up
do.
this year, so I have them that whole like division winning a lot, except for Carolina. But Jerry, where you got them?
I have them at 7-10 because they don't have their star receiver for who knows how long. So he had late in the offseason foot surgery, Michael Thomas.
Yeah, but
So
I don't know.
and without really,
I caught the
with-
games that I watched their game last weekend, and the receivers they had out there looked pretty good. So, Chris, where
yeah,
do you
they
got
don't
them?
know Mike Thomas.
No, nobody's him. Chris, what?
I got them at 8 and 9.
8 and 9. Smitty, what do you got?
I have him at 11-6.
11-6. And Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Smitty, what do you got?
I got them at 15-2.
15-2. Chris, what do you got?
15-2.
15-2. Jerry, where do you got them?
14-3.
14-3. I got them at 16-1.
Homer.
So
They have like the easiest like schedule this year, which is insane. But what do you got, Matt, Nate?
I'm similar with the other two, but you got to swap the 2 and the 5. I have them at 12-5.
12-5. All right, now to the Panthers. What do you got?
Panthers are 4-13.
4-13. I have the Panthers at 4-13. Jerry, where do you got the Panthers?
Make it a trio.
4-13. Chris?
I had them at 5 and 12.
Ah.
Come on, Smitty. 4-13.
Smitty, come on.
5-12.
3-14.
That's close.
We're all within a game of each
I
other.
was
Yeah.
going to change it to match you, but then that means another team that I picked, his numbers would be off.
Oh,
Let's just make sure it's the game against Atlanta. They'll be fine.
Well, last but not
Good
least,
point.
we
We
got
changed that one.
Atlanta.
that could be your tie.
Smitty, now where's your Atlanta at?
6-11. Actually, I think I could do that. I could make them 5-12 and make Cleveland.
All right, Chris, where do you got Atlanta?
Yeah, but 6-11.
Atlanta,
Yep,
Yes.
5 and 12.
5-12. Jeremy?
6-11.
6-11. I got them at 7-10.
I
Nate?
agree.
7-10.
Yep.
So
So we got
On-
1 5, 2 6s, and 2 7s.
yeah. So on the NFC side, we're apparently not as together as we were on the AFC side. Because our AFCs,
True.
we had a lot more that we were like
I
exactly the
think-
same. Couple
I think-
oddballs, but nothing like we are on the NFC side.
Yeah, I think on this side though, there's probably some close games that we all kind of were like, because we're all usually for the most part within 2 to 3 games of each other.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think there are probably a couple games that could go like that 50-50 bowl type.
Right, but I also think the AFC seems to have the stronger division right now as far as teams. While NFC, you have Tampa Bay, Green Bay, or the Kings of the Mountain,
Yeah.
you know. And then they have everyone else kind of like struggling to get up there, and then a lot of bad teams. While the AFC got Kansas City, Buffalo, Cleveland, you know, probably Tennessee, maybe Baltimore. You know,
Yeah, we got real tight. Like the AFC has real titans. Like it seems like in each division, like one guy that could beat the top
Mhm.
guy from the other division. Where hell, any other teams in the NFC, South and North could kick the shit out of the East and the West without a problem.
seems that way. You know what I'd love to do if it was possible? You know, I have my 1 through 16 on my AFC East, my 1 through 16 on my NFC East. I mean NFC AFC, and have them play each other. Like the Bills would play the Green Bay.
Yeah.
You know, the Ravens would play San Francisco. The
Well-
Raiders would play Atlanta.
Well, if the Bills were playing Green Bay, Nate's got the Bills at 17-0. So.
Well, Green Bay had one loss on his
Yeah,
thing, right?
that's true.
Yeah.
There's this one loss.
Let's see who I have that win in that game: Green Bay or Buffalo Bills. Green Bay, bro.
I don't think
I
they
have-
play each other this year.
I have Green Bay
Do they?
beating Buffalo.
Ah. So Nate's got Green Bay losing to Buffalo.
Yep.
I actually have Green Bay probably losing to Minnesota because they have one loss in the division.
Well, if they play Buffalo, that means they would have beat Buffalo, and Buffalo
Right.
would be 17-0.
Green Bay don't play Buffalo
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah.
I don't think they play Buffalo this year, but
because I'm
I
not looking
looked at
for
the-
the
when I
Buffalo
was-
thing.
when I was
So-
going through the thing, I'm like, boy, Tampa's playing a lot of like super easy teams this year.
Well,
What the hell's going
Tampa
on?
was too. They weren't the top seed in their division.
Right, and I forgot about that. Is like they didn't go in number 1 overall, and so they did
They-
get an easier.
Yeah, they weren't the number one seed in their division, so they play the twos,
Yes.
which
Yeah.
there's usually a big drop off between ones and twos.
Right.
So I have Green Bay losing week 11 against Minnesota.
Mm.
I have Green Bay. What do I got? Green Bay. I got 3 losses for Green Bay. Who many is it there? I know it was like home games, all the home people. I have them losing to Kansas City.
Yeah.
I have them losing at home because it's San Francisco. There's something about Green Bay going to San Francisco that does not usually work well for Green Bay.
And I almost gave the win to San Francisco on that one, but
Are they
I'm
going to San Fran?
they're going to
Yes.
San Francisco.
Oh, then I
Really?
didn't realize that. I should have picked that because I have Green Bay losing to New Orleans week 1.
And the game I cannot wait to watch. And I think Green Bay. This was a flip for me, but because I'm sucking on Cleveland right now, I put Cleveland above Green Bay. They're
See,
playing in Green Bay though.
See, I have
like,
Green
close
Bay
part of the
winning
year.
because Cleveland is going to Green Bay. I was looking at that because I'm like, that could be a good game, but I'm like, but Green Bay's at home. It's really hard to beat them at home.
Right.
I'm not gonna give it to them doing that. But I have the week 1 Green Bay going down to New Orleans and losing because nobody knows anything with the New Orleans offense now. Because it's not the same old Drew Brees, so it's going to be different. It's going to be something Green Bay hasn't seen yet. In week 1,
I don't think it's to be very different than what they've already showed while Taysom Hill was starting.
Yeah.
well, it depends on who starts at QB still, and so it may be quite a bit different. We might see something completely different than we've seen the last couple of seasons. So
Well, I have a question for you guys. Do you think how petty is it of me that got really excited when I got to pick the New England games and actually started saying they're going to lose, they're going to lose, they're going to? I
You were
haven't done
so-
that in 20 years.
yeah,
You were a kid in a candy store, weren't you?
do you
Yeah.
know how it felt to
Lose,
say,
they're gonna
hey?
lose. Oh, they're going to beat the Jets. God dang it.
Do you know what it felt like to pick Miami's and be like, "Yep, Miami's gonna beat the Patriots both times around.
Which
No,
is, I mean,
The Bills are
Yeah,
gonna beat
Miami's
the Patriots
for
both
one game
times
of the year
around."
against, you know,
it's usually the last week of the season where New England's like, all right, we'll rest everyone. We gotta
Yeah.
week
yeah, you
off.
said that. It's only happened like twice.
So my suggestion is when the Bears play Tampa, they need to start Nick Foles.
That might be your saving grace there, Chris.
That might be like our one or
Your
two.
kryptonite.
That's a good point. I was like, Nick Foles, what did he do? Oh, he beat Brady. That's right.
Twice. That's the killer. He beat him twice.
Yeah.
No, he beat him
once in a Super Bowl and
He-
then once in a
He
playoff
beat him
game,
last
right?
year as a Bear.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Because I was messing when we were making our picks the week before. I was like, I'm just gonna go with this kryptonite and go with Foles. Like I was just screwing around, and he ended up beating.
Yeah,
I was
it was like
oh,
ridiculous.
Okay, so you're saying that Mahomes' kryptonite is Brady, so apparently
Yep.
Brady's kryptonite
It-
is Foles.
Yep.
Because
Is Foles or Eli?
yeah,
and
and Eli retired.
so he put it, so into a different player.
And that
Yep.
was in surround sound. All right, guys. I think we're good for the night, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
that was long.
That's all, folks.
Bye, everybody.